Yeah, so I kind of go back to our residential broadband. We were a hardware supplier and a technology supplier to Wild Blue Communications in the mid-2000s. And their mission was to sort of bring real broadband to rural communities. And we sort of saw that happening. We were a supplier into it, and they had really good business, but they ended up running out of capacity. And we sort of said, we looked at where they're running out of capacity, and it turned out it wasn't in a spot you'd expect. It wasn't in the sort of expanses of, say, the Midwest. It was actually near city centers. So one of the big innovations was, what really spurred the idea behind ViaSat 1 was, hey, let's put the capacity and real capacity where the people are, and let's change the way it is, and let's make it so satellite isn't the connectivity choice of last. It's actually can compete with others. And so that ViaSat 1 sort of putting the capacity and a lot of capacity where the people were was really an innovation, and it's turned into a fantastic story. It's enabled us to sort of expand our business, launch ViaSat 2, and announce ViaSat 3, and so go from sort of a broadband provider in the US to being a global ISP. Yeah, so what we always do is we look at the customers. So we don't really ask them what they want. We look at what they're doing and where the demands are going. And so, that was our broadband and the homes was one aspect of that. But you look at sort of the aircraft. We sort of looked at an aircraft, and often it had been said that there's really no market there. There's only 6% of the people on an airplane are willing to pay, and and it's only the business traveler. So why, it's not a big market. But we looked at it. We said, well, that's what everyone says, and that's what's happening. But the real innovation is we see people get off the plane. As soon as they landed, what did they do in the past? They opened their phones up and they started interacting with it. So it wasn't that they didn't want to be connected, they just weren't allowed to be. And so that was sort of, we felt pretty good that we think demand is there, and we've got to find a new quality and a new business model around that. And we brought that to market in the aeronautical space and been quite successful. Yeah, so market research definitely plays a role. It's part of the process. I wouldn't say it's the whole process. I'd say with the market research we do, it informs us of opportunities, but often you really need to sort of look for areas of white space. What are people not talking about? Where's the demand, and try to look at two different markets and see what's missing. And so we do market research for the general trends and demands to inform us of sort of the market opportunity, but it really doesn't tell us how to go to market. There you really have to look at what everyone else is doing, what's missing in the market, and try to find that. So you need to kind of blend the two together. Yeah, so pricing is kind of goes back to the business model, right? So you really need to make sure that you just spend and solve a problem, but you don't make any money. And so pricing is one element of that. Cost is the other element. And so whenever we enter a market, we do look at the market opportunity. Are we bringing something different? And in that market opportunity, in the current offerings today, what's missing? Is it because price is too high? And sort of that was a good example is the aeronautical market. We sort of looked at it and said, yeah, there's demand for it, but $40 a flight, you're basically getting most of the market out of they're out, so that we want to get them in. And so we do look at price as part of how do I get the right price to the market to enable the demand? And when you do that, you got to make sure you're still turning a profit, because your end customers aren't going to be happy if you go out of business. Biggest mistakes, I would say, is, I forgot this one. The biggest mistake you'd make is kind of overthinking, guessing what somebody wants, or actually using what I call a rearview mirror approach. This is what's been happening in a market, and so I'm just going to sort of do the same thing but a little bit cheaper. Because that's where that's a sustaining strategy. What you want to do when you're looking forward is have an innovative strategy and very disruptive. So I don't want to just be the same as somebody else but a little bit cheaper, because somebody's going to come in and disrupt you. They're going to innovate, and they're going to bring a whole new solution to the market that your cost advantage in the old market doesn't bear, because they brought a new product to the market.